Welcome to the iKneadLove podcast.
It's your boy G-Wiz, man.
And Mrs. G-Wiz.
And we are back for episode number 3.
Woo woo.
And guess what? It's my birthday.
Happy birthday to you, old man.
Thank you, baby.
You're really not that old, though. But
It's been a great birthday weekend. You know what I'm saying?
we had the birthday party a while back.
Yeah, we had a little prelude to the actual birthday that was coming up. And we kicked it. We had a great time.
It was definitely fun. Threw it back, 90s style.
Yeah, 90s party here at the house. And that was real cool. We had some friends and family come over. We kicked it real tough. But this weekend, though, was the weekend of all weekends.
It was a busy weekend, though. Super
was.
busy.
It was, yeah. We had a lot going on. Shout out to my daughters. They got their, they leveled up on their belts and taekwondos.
Woo woo.
You know what I'm saying?
The 3-year-old broke a board with their little feet.
Yeah. I want to say, give some quick shout outs.
Cool.
Shout out to Nicole for the Hennessy, you know what I'm saying, that I'm having for the evening. And happy birthday to you, too.
Yeah, it was her birthday, and we went to her party, which was an 80s prom.
That's right.
So on her 30th, she also had an 80s night. So 5 years later, we get the prom style.
And that was good. We had a good time there.
Yes. She likes her theme parties too.
She does. She always does good with the decor. She's like the decor queen.
She's
when
got
it comes
great
to,
balloons and always a
Yeah.
spot to take pictures with.
Yeah, she have a nice backdrop set up for you. So your Instagram would be popping for the night.
Hers definitely was all night.
Yeah, so shout out to her. Shout out to Bree Howard.
Woo woo.
She came through today. My homegirl from Raw Honey. That was dope. She came through and kicked it with us. Ate some ribs. Swim with the kids.
Potato salad.
Yep.
Is that country enough for you?
Yeah, that was just right. That's
Perfect.
what I was talking about right there.
See, we know how to fix it.
You hit it right on the head.
See, you don't have to buy somebody else's.
No, we didn't have to do that. Everything was homemade today. And it was good, man. I had a great birthday. Shout out to Maxie Max and VA Slim for taking me out to Dave and Buster's. Things that old people do when they want to go have some fun, I guess.
Yeah, well, when you're too old to get on time to the bowling alley,
Yeah.
you got to find other options.
But we actually got there and it was kind of whack though.
Which one do you do?
We went to well, we don't want to say their name, but we went to the one at the block.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
But okay,
So we went there, and it was kind of lame. I ain't gonna lie. It wasn't popping like I thought it would be.
Age group or decor?
Just
music?
all around, man. Just the whole environment just wasn't there. The lanes was all full for one, but it wasn't like a party like it should be on a Friday night.
They weren't all glowing balls and cosmic like
It
bowling.
was, but it was just like the mood was just you know. So we was like, all right, let's just drink this drink and get out of here.
Well, good thing Dreddy wasn't there. He would have smoked y'all.
Yeah, probably. Shout out to Andretti. Doing a lot of big things. Me and my partner from Cool Camp Productions. Pitching some scripts, man. Things are going well. He had a great meeting as well.
Oh, great. When is he allowed to tell everybody? Not yet?
Not yet, but we'll
Okay.
talk about it. I'll let you know what's up.
I know, because I saw those. We saw it. Good things are happening.
That's
I saw
right.
saw the theater, and so we're waiting until he can actually announce it.
That's right. And this is the iKneadLove Q&A podcast. And you are here with Mr. and Mrs. G-Wiz, where we pick up on questions from the followers. And I don't like to say fans because it's people who just cool with us, you know what I'm saying?
Friends and family.
Yeah. But the last couple episodes have gotten good reviews.
Fantastic.
People like it. They like the show. I appreciate everybody who listens, subscribes, likes, comments on whatever we doing. It means a lot to us.
It definitely does.
I really enjoy doing this here podcast with my wife.
We actually get to have real conversations that don't revolve around kids and schedules.
Yeah, it's true. I think, like I was telling Bree earlier, this is kind of like it's like a therapeutic thing almost, man. Because when you have kids and you have work and you have so many other things going on, it's hard to even sit down with your significant other and just talk for an hour or so, like face to face.
And not, things about what's happening in the world.
Yeah, talk about anything.
Right.
I mean, we talk here and there. It's not like high or by for people who listening.
Right. When we talk, it's more about how's your day, what's going on, what do we need to do, this or this happened, where it's, Right. But we don't get to really have conversations about what's happening in the world.
That's true.
What's coming up.
How you feel about what's happening in the world? The world's crazy right now. Some people just got shot. We're recording this on Sunday night for everybody who's listening. But there was a Madden NFL video game tournament in Jacksonville, Florida. They're playing the games. They're streaming live. Somebody comes in and shoots it up today.
What?
Yeah.
Damn.
Shot it up. I don't know how many people were injured. I don't know how many people were killed. But
I'm sure they know now more information from what we got. I hadn't seen anything pop up, man.
Yeah, it's been on TV. It's been on my social media all day. I haven't fact checked much, but I know, it's a lot going on down there. So prayers to all the families, first of all, who might be affected by this.
Do they say what
heinous act?
Potentially motivation was?
I don't know. I was talking to my man. He was like, man, it's so crazy. It could have been somebody who lost the game and felt like they got cheated and came back and shot the whole thing up. And I was like, damn, that makes sense. But I don't know. I didn't follow up much on it. Yeah. But that's terrible.
It is. It's awful. And it's bringing up your kids these days. I think, granted, I teach at a school, but my school's really tiny. I'm more concerned to get more about our daughter's school than on my own school. Because if it happens at my school, it is very one person specific, because most of the times when the kids, or when it's been happening, they're looking for a body count.
Yeah,
they're just going to take everybody out, and they're not, it's a lot more difficult to go after specifically certain people in a setting like that.
I don't know, man. We're living in an interesting time and an interesting day.
There's too much hate right now.
It's a lot of hate. It's a lot of just people in the dark, man. I don't know.
I just wish some people would lead by example.
Yeah.
Instead of shooting out from their mouth or their social media.
Yeah, that's true.
Even our buddy had a comment from a friend about his life.
What do you mean? What you talking about?
Solo.
Oh, yeah.
He, one of his buddies, I don't know if maybe it's more of a supposed buddy, sent something to him about, it was based off of race.
Yeah. Why don't you explain to the people what it was while I have a swig.
Okay, so it's okay for me to talk about this one. Okay.
I mean, yeah, we ain't putting nobody on blast, but this is definitely an interesting topic to cover, I feel like.
Well, and you're going to have to help me out with this too, because I don't have it open right in front of me. But his buddy basically says, what, you married up in the world? Or, because our buddy Solo is married, he's black, she's white. And what, becoming successful that you marry a white girl?
Yeah, I'm going to pull it up. Let me see if I can find it.
But like everyone was, when he posted it, everyone was hating on this cat who said this to him. And I'm like, I don't even know this dude. But it just, really?
Basically what it was saying was that people feel like once a African American, a black man becomes successful in this world or in this country, the first thing that he does is run to a white woman or someone out of their race to marry. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
And a lot of people feel like that. You know what I'm saying? Why? I don't know. It's definitely a stereotype that's been going on in our community for a long time.
It's, for me, it's just, I don't see it, but maybe that's because I just choose not to pay attention to crap.
Or is it just something that you notice because you are paying attention to it? You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, but like...
Not you in particular, but...
Right, and there's some things I just don't... I like being sometimes in my bubble where I don't have to care about it.
Yeah.
Because it's stupid.
It is. It's very petty. I think...
Like, I know a girl who was in both... she's dated both men and women.
Right.
She married a guy. Mm-hmm. Something happened. They divorced. And now she's married to a woman.
Yeah.
I didn't think it's more about the person rather than what's on the exterior.
It's absolutely more about the person. It's a shame that in today's world, people still get caught up in, shit as far as race or whatever, or feel some type of way stereotypically towards other people. I don't think that's cool. I think over time we've broken a lot of barriers,
Yeah.
And you gotta kind of just live, man.
Yeah, root for the underdog every once in a while too.
And not just that. Why you so worried about what
other people?
Yeah. Why are you worried about what other people doing anyway?
Yeah. What's going on in your life?
Yeah.
Or maybe you just want that girl.
You sound like a hater.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Definitely.
I don't want to change the subject and flip it to a sad note, but I just got to give a shout out to my cousin Diane, who lived such a wonderful life. I recently lost a cousin of mine to brain cancer. She battled for a long time, and she was just one of the sweetest, most warmest people you ever want to meet. You know what I'm saying?
She's wonderful.
I'm sure you know.
I know.
You've met her.
They may not know as much.
Yeah,
but we know.
But she's just such a great person, man. And I think she lived her life to the fullest, and I appreciate the fact and I admire that she touched so many people in such a great, positive way.
Yeah.
And I think that's what life is all about.
She was always so positive.
Always positive. Even through her ups and downs with her illness, she always kept a positive attitude. She, when I asked her how she doing, she always say, "I'm all right, I'm living."
She had a happy face.
Happy face, smiling, hugs, warm hugs. We eat some food.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, I'm really going to miss my cousin. Wonderful, wonderful lady. So we'll have a moment of silence here for my cousin Diane. All right. So, iKneadLove Q&A podcast. We on episode number 3.
Woo.
And I'm going to go ahead and let the cat out the bag, baby.
Already? You don't want to give him more some suspense?
No, man. We gave him enough suspense.
Okay, you do it.
All right. I just want to let y'all know that we have partnered with KDIF FM radio in Phoenix, Arizona. They are going to be allowing us a platform to express the topics and cover the topics that we cover on this show live on air on FM radio in Phoenix, Arizona.
It's crazy.
It's absolutely crazy. They hit us up after these 3 episodes.
Or 2.
2 episodes, actually. And they wanted to fool with us, man. So I'm very, very excited about the opportunity. So anybody in Phoenix or, the surrounding areas who may be able to pick up this station, man, y'all make sure y'all tune in because this is going to be a blast. I never thought we'd be able to do something like this.
It's crazy.
Which is crazy.
From just thinking, hey, let's do a podcast.
Yeah, let's do a podcast. Now we are going to be
in
the
Phoenix.
iKneadLove Q&A radio show.
Mm-hmm.
And we promise to give the fans some exclusive content via podcast because we don't want to just strip the audio from the radio show. And, we'll cover some different topics and give y'all a little more sauce on this one. Use a little more slanguage and, linguistic exuberance in our manner. That's my E40 slang right there. Shout out to E40, King E40, man. I love you, man. Best rapper ever do it from the West Coast. Might be, period. What do you think about Snoop Dogg, baby? You like Snoop?
I like him more now than I did back in the day. I had issues when he was pulling some of his stunts.
Yeah.
On the red carpet.
A friend of mine hit me up and said Snoop was on the cartoons. Came in and
well, he's
kids watching cartoons and Snoop Dogg pop up.
But he's also doing a cooking show with Martha. I
think it's so great, man. She was just as excited as I was. She loves Snoop just like I do. And we think it's great for the culture. I told her that Snoop is to the culture what Lady Liberty is to New York City.
He is homegrown.
Right. So we want to give a big shout out to Snoop Dogg doing big things. City of Long Beach. Everybody on the West Coast. I love the West Coast.
Aren't you so glad you moved here?
I am, man. Shout out to the West Coast. And
You like your shout outs.
I do. You never give shout outs.
I don't know. See, I'm late to this game, babe.
Which shout outs is like?
I know what they
some
are.
Love, man. You know. People love you.
Yeah, but I'm
You
not
gotta give them
shouting
some
out
love back.
every 5 seconds. That's what you're for.
Well, I can't shout out your people, but
You know my people. We've already done 2 of them.
your people is my people, is our people.
Right.
So shout out to all our people. We just want to get that out the way. And while we bullshit, we might as well get into some questions.
What's first, babe?
And today I have a question from Mrs. Tracy Bridges from Louisville, Kentucky. And she wants to know, how do you feel on showing your children tough love? What do you think about that, man? What you think about tough love? What is tough love? Define tough love to me.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
You like how I flipped that on you like that?
Whoa. Other way around, sunshine.
What you mean?
You were supposed to define tough love.
How? Why you gonna put it on me to do it?
Because when we had originally talked about this, when I'm like, oh, what was her question? And then just kind of feeling it out, I'm like, okay, what's your definition of tough love?
All right.
I should ask, what's Tracy's definition of tough love?
All right, let's see what what good old Webster has to say about this. What does Webster say when it comes to
Webster?
tough love? Yeah, Webster Dictionary. Oh, shit. Got some technical difficulties.
You know, tough love is...
I just want to see the definition.
Okay, you go see tough love. Oh, there we go.
Read that right there.
Tough love, according to the dictionary, is promotion of a person's welfare, especially that of an addict, child, or criminal, by enforcing certain constraints on them or requiring them to take responsibility for their actions.
That's deep. That's deep. Snap. That's deep right there.
Oh, we're having a tough time with that one on our end right now.
I don't know. To me, tough love is more like a, you showing discipline with a little bit of passion and a little bit of grace.
Well,
like, hey,
we're still trying to get one of our kids to take more responsibility.
yeah,
I
that's
think
true.
that's the tough thing of me, because I call her out on it. I'm like, you were the last person to have it. Don't blame everything on your sister.
Yeah,
Just take it and be like, cool.
yeah,
Okay, sorry, my bad.
yeah. I also think tough love is also seeing when you given the discipline, seeing your child maybe cry or be disgruntled or uncomfortable, which makes you a little bit uncomfortable too.
Yes.
So you got to be tough.
Yes.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
just can't always give in.
Yeah, you can't always give in. You got to be firm with these kids nowadays, man.
Kids like structure.
They do.
They don't realize they do, but when they have structure and discipline in that aspect, they perform well.
They actually do.
So, and that's definitely something from my school too.
Yeah.
But when we were back, there's not as much to get into that they do now.
Yeah. What do you think about? I guess we really can't talk about it because our kids ain't that old. But having an older child who might be in an adult age, you know what I'm saying, who you still try to steer along the right path. Is there a point where you just have to be like, you grown. I can't deal with you no more because you're stressing me out.
It depends on what it is. If they're doing some bullshit stuff, that's when you got to walk away.
Right.
But if they really need guidance and it also depends on how they react. Are they taking the feedback you're giving them?
Yeah. Are they actually listening to it and applying what you're saying?
Right.
Or is it going in one ear out the other?
I'm thinking it's usually, depending on what age and if they're still in high school or just about to leave high school or just left high school, it makes a difference.
Makes a big difference.
So, but if they're needing it and you can guide them and they work with it or they try, but if it's the same stuff coming back and forth, drop it.
Yeah, I agree. I think it comes to a point, man, where you're dealing with adult children or children of yours who are adults, where you have to, you're going to have to let them fall. You got to let them go through what they got to go through to understand that, things are real out here.
Right. Well, even at our school, like our policy is not to have homework.
Right.
And some of our teachers, we work with them so much because it's a smaller school, so they get more personalized attention. And I tell them, it's just, when you leave here, no one's going to hold your hand when you walk out that door to your next class.
You're right.
Your teachers or your professors aren't going to hold your hand to get that assignment done. You miss it, you're screwed.
Absolutely.
Because they might give you, okay, they accept late work, but you miss it, you're done. I had one professor, I don't know if it's quite a professor, but I was at a JC, and he would lock the doors after a certain time. Like, if you're not here on time, we're locking the doors.
So you're locked out of class?
And you can't come back in.
Oh,
and
damn.
same way with the break, too.
That's tough love.
It is.
It is.
You learn your lesson pretty quick.
You absolutely do.
I don't think I finished that class. God, he put me to sleep.
It's boring?
It's econ, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no. I may have...
Shout out to your econ teacher who was boring. He need to step his game up.
Oh. Yeah, it was a long time ago.
All right. Next question. From Anonymous. Like I built a little drama right there, right?
What's the question?
All right. What are your pet peeves? You have a pet peeve?
You know I have a pet peeve.
Let's hear it.
I think my biggest one. I have a sensitive nose for particular smells, especially.
Oh, shit. You gonna say I stink on here?
Oh, your socks do, but that's not my pet peeve.
Just throw me under the bus.
When you've been outside working, sweating.
I smell like a man, babe. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
A funky man.
Your socks aren't going to be fresh as daisies. Of course they're going to smell.
Yeah. Hey, man, my feet sweat a lot, you know.
But that's not my pet peeve.
Okay, what's your pet peeve?
My pet peeve is when you take your damn washcloth and it's wet and it's like damp and he puts it right over a dry towel. And like a day later, all I smell is mildew. And I'm like, babe.
Oh, man. Ain't that something?
I hate the smell of mildew. Like, even in my class, we use plastic cutting boards. And I literally freak out on them. I'm like, do not lie them together. You have to put it on this rack. Because if not, I'm going to make you all hand wash them back over. Because it smells so bad.
Wash rag, you know, you're done with the wash rag. You just want to put the shit somewhere, man. I just put it right there all the time. I never think about it. You know what I'm saying?
I know, but you complain when you grab a towel and it smells.
Yeah, that shit do be funky. Yeah, that's a fact. That is one of your pet peeves.
Oh, yeah. But thankfully, we've gotten a couple new rods in the bathroom. It's not as bad.
Yeah, we spruced up the place a little bit.
Yeah. So I'm not as crazy on it.
Yeah, that's true.
What's your pet peeve? I'm sure I've got lots of them here.
Oh, man. What is my pet peeve? Oh, Lord. Dun, dun, dun. We finna throw her under the bus, y'all.
Damn,
We gonna throw her under the bus, right? This is what we gonna do to you. We gonna throw you under the bus. We're going to get on the bus and ride over you and then get off the bus.
Really?
And then ask you if you need some help.
Guess who's sleeping on the couch tonight?
All right. What's my pet peeve? I'm going to have to say the clothes on the floor in the shower, man. That's it. You get out of the shower, you put your clothes on the floor, you go to bed. Come on, man. Come on.
Apparently, we have an issue with the bathroom. Who's left
to come and clean up all the clothes? Guess who? Me.
I've been better at it lately, though.
I got to clean up your clothes. I got to clean up the kids' clothes because they want to do it because you do it. And it's just clothes now. And it's the hamper right around the corner. What's the deal?
That wasn't there a while ago, though.
That's true. We did just move the laundry room downstairs. Shout out to Brett Peterson. Y'all need some contract work in the Southern California area, hit me up. I get my man Brett on the job. Get you right.
If he doesn't retire.
He ain't gonna retire. But anyway, back to my pet peeve. So I threw you under the bus.
That's okay. I can handle that one.
Put you on the bus.
You didn't run over. No, that's not that bad.
Yeah, whatever. But yeah, we gotta I don't care though. It's a pet peeve, but I'll still, I'll pick up your clothes, babe. I love you.
Yeah, like I pick up your washcloth.
Yeah, it's true. That's what happens when you get married, y'all. You pick up after each other and shit.
Right.
Yeah, we just an old funky married couple.
We are old married couple. 15 years, been together.
It's all right, man. We love each other. And we have no problem dealing with each other's pet peeves. Another thing, y'all loud, man. My family is loud. I'm talking about Jay-Z concert loud.
Blame Carol.
For no reason. I'll be here chilling, you know what I'm saying, watching my little 30 for 30, whatever's on. And I just hear screaming for no reason.
They're kids.
But they having fun. But they just loud and screaming. And then you screaming.
I'm sorry, I've got pipes and my kids have those same pipes.
And I'm like, oh Lord, I can't get no quiet nowhere, man.
It's what happens when you marry a singer.
These people just loud.
Okay, at least you get to sleep.
What do you mean? What's that supposed to mean?
The girls. No. We don't want daddy, we want mommy.
Yeah, because you're fun in the morning. You make pancakes.
I don't make pancakes.
Shout out to Tracy for the pancakes this morning. She hooked me up with pancakes. My daughter can make some pancakes, y'all.
Yeah, I finally passed the baton to her on pancakes. She's like, I'm making pancakes. Okay.
Babe, you read any new books? Why don't you put the people up on some new books?
Well, it's only if they like romance.
Have you read any you know what I'm talking about? Some of that
oh shit.
Some of that erotica? Any erotica going on?
Not lately, actually.
Oh, okay.
I'm currently reading Jamie McGuire's new book.
What's it called? Give a shout out. This way you're supposed to get your shout outs right here.
Really?
So you're supposed to say shout out to...
Well, shout out to the Havenwood Falls series. All right. A bunch of them are novellas, but there's some really great authors in there. But it's fun that it's a full series with a bunch of different authors. And one of my favorite authors is in that. R.K. Oh God, I hope I say her last name is Rylas. She's fantastic. I love it. But the one I'm currently reading by Jamie McGuire is From Here to You. Mm-hmm. And then I just got Penelope Ward's new book, Love Online. All right. So I've been catching on with Penelope Ward. And before that, I finished Penny Reed, who is fantastic. Talk about smart and funny books. She's fantastic.
Like, what's her style? What kind of stuff does she do?
Romance, but it's like the jokes, the humor. I guess you can call it some of them romantic comedies. I don't know if it's technically in that category. Okay. But it's smart humor. It's really witty. And if you're not paying attention, you'll just fly right by it.
That's right.
So I think Penny Reed and RK is probably my top two right now. Okay. And then Rebecca Ethington. I've read a lot of hers. But
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I want to give a shout out to a couple books myself. Anybody who knows me, they might know that I really dig memoirs and biographies and stuff like that. So,
what'd you read last?
The last one I read was, My Midnight Years.
Who's that about?
This is from Mr. Ronald Kitchen, and it was a great story of Mr. Kitchen was wrongfully accused of a crime in Chicago in the 70s, and he was forced to give a
false confession.
A false confession, basically.
Is he black?
Yeah, black man.
Those white cops.
He spent about 19 years.
Shit.
Or 10, 11 years. I can't remember.
Did DNA release him?
Yeah, evidence eventually released them. But the thing about it was the cops who did it, they were very, very corrupt. So they were into torturing people.
Oh, damn. Are they?
All kind of shit.
Please tell me they died.
One of them died, I believe. But a couple of other ones were still alive and they stood trial. It's just a really great book, man.
Did they survive being incarcerated?
You talking about the other people who were
the cops? Because usually when you hear that shit, when they're tortured, they're not going to survive long.
No.
Being incarcerated.
They probably still in jail. Actually, the ones who did get convicted.
Wow.
But the other ones, statute of limitations and stuff like that ran out, so it was kind of crazy. But My Midnight Years, Mr. Ronald Kitchen, shout out to him. Another one that I really, really enjoyed was Raw, My Journey into the Wu-Tang from You God. Crazy book. Also, I want to give a shout out.
Most of these for you are audibles, right?
Yeah. I do a lot of audible audiobooks. I'm a big fan of audiobooks. Again, if anybody knows me, I'm an audio guy. I'm always listening to stuff. And I'm a very busy person. I'm always on the go. I'm always doing something. So it's very easy to put on, listen to your book, kind of zone out. I love it. It's great when they have really good narrators too.
Oh yeah.
I don't have a favorite narrator, but
you want it. It's what author chooses. So sometimes the author does their own.
I like when the author does their own. Like Charlamagne the God, he did his own.
Well, but that's a different story when you're doing your own memoir. It's so much more meaningful.
Also, my absolute favorite so far was Jennifer Lewis, the mother of Black Hollywood. That book was absolutely crazy. You played that when you were Payne, right? Yeah, if anybody doesn't know who Jennifer Lewis is, she is Anthony Anderson's mom on the show Blackish. And she has a very, very interesting story about dealing with being bipolar in the entertainment industry.
I think a lot of people,
and stuff like that.
Super artsy people can tend to have those issues where it's now being okay and acceptable to state it.
Yeah. Oh, one more. I got to give a shout out to my man, Michael Rappaport. This book has balls. Sports rants from the greatest shit talker.
From hearing his podcast, that is the perfect title for him.
Oh, man. Love
Pops
that
out to
book.
that.
Really love it. Well produced. I'm going to steal some of the things that they did from that book and add it to our show or to our podcast as well, as far as like audio stuff. I really liked it a lot. So
cool.
Shout out to Rap.
I like his podcast whenever I hear you playing with it. Not playing with it, but playing it around the house.
I got a question for you.
Okay.
Are people ever surprised at who your significant other is?
A little bit. I think when I was with one class and I made a comment about my daughter's hair being super curly, they kind of give me this look. I'm like, oh, it's all right. My husband's black, so they're mixed babies. They're like, oh, mixed babies are so cute. But I think, and even back in the day when I would say being an audio engineer and being a writer and producer, they're like, and especially like hip hop and rap, they gave me this weird look like, oh, a white guy in rap?
Right.
Oh.
That's funny.
I'm like, no, don't worry, he's black.
I think you messing with Vanilla Ice.
Right? Or the next wannabe Eminem type of thing.
Yeah.
It's not there. But I think people always assume who you're going to marry someone who's similar to you.
If I met you, I wouldn't see you being with somebody like me. I'd be like, what? No way.
Well, even like when he first moved out here, he ended up meeting a lot of people who went to high school with me, a class ahead of me.
Yeah, it's crazy too.
And that's how...
Shout out to Blaze. My man Blaze.
But... So how we met was that we were living next door to each other in apartments. And my girlfriend, go Nicole, was like, oh, Blaze's buddies are moving in. And it was like my birthday week. I had the flu. I had a house sit. So I wasn't there when they moved in. And I'm thinking skinny white dudes, skater dudes.
Some skater dudes on some skateboards.
You
had
moving
it all
in.
wrong, baby.
I did, and I turned like, wait, what the fuck is going on?
Me and Blaze was in the trap together. We was trapping. He was in the hood.
But even when they make the comment, they're like, wait, you two are like, when you went to parties with Blaze, from people he knew in high school, it's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
So it's always interesting.
That's true. People are I think people are pretty often surprised that I'm married to who I'm married to.
Yeah, I'm all, I've loosened up a bit. Thank you. From you.
It's funny to me. I always get oh man, I didn't know you. I never thought you'd be into white chicks. For certain people.
Didn't you date one in high school though?
I didn't really date her, but we was like cool. We, kicked it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Shout out. That's funny.
Well, you're the only black person I've ever dated.
Yeah, you are the only white person I've ever
actually dated.
Ever dated. Yeah.
Well, I can one up you on that one, but let's not go there.
We never go there, man. We
don't
just gonna leave that alone. Let's keep this thing moving. Let me see. I had another one for you. Okay, boom. Here we go. Growing up where you grew up, right? What were your dreams and what were your fears? Did you have any?
You know what? I didn't necessarily have that many dreams. You know, when you're a little kid, you always be like, I want to be the singer, you know, ballet girl.
Did you feel like everything was at your fingertips though, while being here in California?
What do you mean, being at my fingertips?
Did you feel like anything was possible? Because I'm gonna tell you, from where I'm from, like, some things just seemed a little impossible. Or I said impossible. Excuse me, y'all. This is the Hennessy. Shout out to Nicole for getting me this Hennessy. But impossible. I think a lot of us too feel like, damn, you know, we're up against so many odds that it's gonna be, you know, it's a needle in the haystack trying to get this opportunity to do or fulfill this dream or what have you. With being here, it would seem like, you know, anything's possible.
Yeah, anything's possible. I knew even before I graduated high school that I would have to at least minor in business. Mm-hmm. But I ended up majoring in that, but I still didn't really have any fucking clue what I was going to do when I got out.
You didn't necessarily have a dream?
I don't think I did.
Really?
Like, I went in as a vocal performance major and realized I do not have the heart or the stomach to keep up with it.
What, to just like be a singer?
Mm-hmm. Because it's what the school I went to, they didn't, when you do your master class and your vocal, it's all opera.
Yeah.
So it's not musical theater. But I couldn't handle the judging aspect. And granted, it was all, you know, professional criticism. So it wasn't like, you know, you're not wearing the right thing, you're not doing that. But I couldn't wrap my head around it to not take it. I take things too personally.
Yeah.
And so that's why that was one of the major reasons I'm like, you know what? Nope, I'm not going to do this.
I always feel like if you're good at whatever it is, where, you know, being from where I'm from, you were kind of a big fish in a small pond. So that gave you a little bit of confidence as well.
Right,
to
definitely.
say, you know, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to crush the competition. Whereas here, this is like the cream of the crop, you know. So I could totally understand where you're coming from with that. Going against so much stiff competition or whatever it might have been, or judgment or whatever. Yeah,
and it wasn't, you know, I was always comparing myself. I'm like, oh, you know, and it wasn't good for the headspace.
Yeah,
it wasn't good for the headspace. But
so is that safe to say that was your fear, like being let down from
feel of failing?
Yeah,
failure, basically. That and being alone. But then you came along, so I didn't have to worry about that anymore.
Then I kicked in the double blah. This whole world could be ours, baby. Yeah.
Oh goodness! But you know, there was a lot of competition. There's a lot of people I went to school with. That, like,
you went to a very prominent school as well.
Yeah.
Shout out to
my high school or my college.
College.
Chapman.
Yeah, Chapman
CU.
University. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people go through there.
The SC of Orange County.
Yeah. Let me see. Let me try to answer the same question. What were my dreams? My dreams were to just make it out of the environment that I was in.
You made your dream.
I'm living the dream for sure. I'm definitely, shout out to, you know, the creator and everybody around me right now, and everybody who's allowed me an opportunity to move ahead and fulfill my dreams, because that was, ever since being a kid, that was always a dream of mine, to escape my environment per se, because I went through a lot as a kid, man. Like a lot of things that a lot of things that a lot of kids probably shouldn't have to go through, you know, growing up faster than you should, and excuse me, just dealing with certain situations, man, and looking around and being like, damn, you know, is this all that there is? Or you seeing things on TV and you want to aspire for more, do more things. So that was always a goal of mine, to spread my wings and just go as far as I could, you know. Yeah. Through music too. Like, I was always a fan of music. So my fears, what was my biggest fears as a kid or growing up? I would have to say shit, just probably not being able to achieve my dream.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. A little bit of failing. I think everyone has a natural fear of failing a bit.
I think so.
No one wants to fail.
Yeah. I think go ahead. I don't mean to cut you off. What you gonna say?
I was just saying that it also depends on what your categories of failure is, because so many people failed before being amazing. Like Steve Jobs, Oprah Winfrey. They all failed at younger ages.
Yeah. I had to learn how to fail. I had to
Yes.
learn how to fail in my early 20s when I really started trying to pursue being an artist and being a producer and head of a label and stuff like that. And we failed majorly. But it was good for us because that was my college. You know, that was like that was my grad school, going through those experiences and learning the game firsthand and not necessarily waiting to get a deal with somebody and getting burnt. But yeah, we had a lot of ups and downs, you know, and I learned from it. And definitely gracious.
Yeah.
For sure. Another thing I want to ask you about, what do you think about like therapy, couples therapy and personal therapy?
A lot of people need it.
Because one thing that's big in our culture is
not going,
not seeking the help, not talking to people, not opening up.
I think
a lot of people feel like I'm hard, I can hold this down, or I can get through this. You know,
that's why you crash and burn.
That's when you crash and burn, man.
I was listening to one, I think it was Dr. Jen, and because she used to be on Stars back in the day, and then something happened, and now whenever, not Stars, she might have been on Stars, I don't know, but there's another doctor on Stars that I cannot stand, because she comes out something with always sounding so negative. And it's, you know, could be a little bit how the tone and how she's delivering it, and it's just to me, but Dr. Jen had always kind of mentioned everyone should do a year of therapy. Just
everybody in general?
Everyone in general, just do a year of therapy to work on yourself and do all your things.
It's not a bad idea.
But, you know, sometimes couples need it.
Yeah.
You know, just be on the same page. Be in a safe environment where you know, maybe if you're not in that environment, you may feel like you're being judged. Like, oh, what is he going to think of me if I say this? You know, I really want this, but I'm afraid I don't know how to tell him.
Have you ever done therapy on your own?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did it help you through what you were going through?
A little bit.
And did you know you were going through something? That's why you went, or how did the whole situation come about?
I had a bad living situation that kind of snowballed.
Got you.
So when I came home, I was going to therapy, and I didn't end up going back to school. So I, you know, stayed because I was in Denver for half a minute. Then I came home. But there was I got to the point too where I self-diagnose a little bit.
Right.
So I know when I
self-medicated.
You still do. But I can tell when I'm getting a depressive state. I'm like reading the signs of my body.
Right.
Because, you know, when a lot of people just naturally have depressive flows.
Right.
But just kind of recognizing signs from different stages of my life, being like, oh, okay, maybe I need to talk to somebody, or okay, this is what's happening. Maybe I should change how I eat, maybe go exercise, because those things help a lot of your endorphins and whatever's going on in your head sometimes too.
Right.
Not always, but I should have definitely saw someone in high school. I you know, I didn't say anything. I didn't want to say anything, but yeah, I probably should have.
Speaking of which, I saw my first therapist in high school.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and it wasn't by choice; it was by force. I did something at school. I can't remember what it was. Where whatever it was that I did at school caused for me to get a drug test. Like I must have been on some crazy shit, but anyway, I had to take this drug test, and I knew I was gonna fail this shit because I was smoking weed and shit, but. Take the drug test, long story short, take it, and my mom gets the results, and part of me being able to come back to school was having to go to do these classes or whatever, talk to a therapist, what have you. So I go to the therapist, and that moment there made me realize how much I should have seen the therapist way before high school.
Oh, knowing your background? Yes, you should
You know
have.
what I'm saying? Because that was the first time that I really opened up and got to let go of these feelings of things that, you know, I went through in the past and why I was self-medicating. And, you know.
I think whenever there's a divorce, a death in the like immediate family member death, or a big event where it forces you away from a parent,
Right.
like even like a divorce, whether it's, you know, maybe they have to go for hospital stays, or if they're under 10, just take them.
That's real, man. Shout out to that dude who broke me down, because he really broke me down, and I left in tears like, oh shit. Because I really needed that, for one, and for two, I've been walking around pretty messed up, man, you know, and not even knowing it.
Right, and sometimes you don't realize how much it may be affecting them. They might be fine, but you shut the door and they're in their room, could be a totally different thing. Yeah.
A lot of people, it's another thing too. I don't do a lot of interviews and stuff, so a lot of people don't know my story as far as being they know me as an artist, but still don't even know my story.
Right.
But one thing that I dealt with early was the passing of my brother. My older brother passed away when I was probably 7 years old. Senseless act of violence. Playing with a gun and went off, and whole thing happened not necessarily right in front of me, but I was right next door, and I seen them wheeled out of my house and all kinds of stuff like that. So it was very, very traumatizing. It caused a lot of PTSD, you know, and that I didn't even think about as a kid.
I'm surprised social services didn't step in, but
I'm surprised too.
It's a different day and age, though. I think now they would have totally.
That's true. And back then, and in the community that I lived in, it was just another thing that went on.
Because you were in the city.
Yeah. But I carried that for a long time. I carried that for a really long time. It didn't really necessarily get that off my chest until high school. You know, I was 7 years old at the time. So
10 years later, it's still affecting you.
You know. So I think it's very important that the youth, parents, anybody who needs to get it off their chest, don't hesitate to talk to a therapist, because it can save your life. Right.
And it's easy enough that there's school counselors, there's school resources if your kids of schooling age.
Right.
When something like happens like that, they've got services that are provided for you.
Right.
That are there. And even when there are school shootings, they have grief counselors, like abundance show up to things.
I know what it was that I got caught with.
What?
I was smoking weed at school.
Why the fuck were you smoking weed at school?
Because I was with my friends, and it was like the cool thing to do with some hood rats.
You know what's crazy now?
What's up?
You talk about drugs, or, doing little hand signs like you're smoking. That can get you searched now.
At school?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. At least at my school.
Yeah.
For sure.
Hey, clamp down on these kids, man.
Yeah, but my school's crazy. A different story, because, my kids are there for certain reasons.
Let's talk about couples therapy.
Fantastic.
I agree. My wife and I have attended couples therapy.
Mm-hmm. It was, it was good, because I loved the book that she suggested to us.
And that's what I wanted to actually segue into, is the 5 Languages of Love. Great book. I can't remember who wrote it, but
I can look it up for you real fast.
Really, really, really great book.
It's right there.
Boom, there it is. I'm not going to go over there and grab it. But
here. You want me to grab it?
Yeah, you grab it. We're recording this from the library downstairs in the house right now. We got some books in here. Who's the author of that book, babe? Gary Chapman. Shout out to Gary Chapman for writing this book. We went to couples therapy, and they suggested that we read this book and follow along with the strategy of the book.
Well, they also had a quiz in the back.
Absolutely.
And you should, if you're having anything, a little bit of issue, not to say issues, but, maybe you're just not connecting the same as you were as during the honeymoon stage. There's a little quiz in the back, and it kind of reveals to you what's the best way to communicate with you.
Absolutely.
Or how do you feel affection and love?
Hence the name, the title, The 5 Languages of Love. Why don't you break it down a little bit, babe?
So, hold on, let me open this for a second. See, I would have been better prepped if you knew you were going to go this way.
I know, I should have sent this to you, but it's okay, though. We just going with the flow.
Okay, let me just get down.
Shout out to everybody who's in love, who might need a little help, because we're going to show you all the way right here.
So the 5 love languages.
Boom.
Words of affirmation.
1.
Quality time.
2.
Receiving gifts.
3.
Acts of service.
4.
Physical touch.
5. There we go. Some people kind of lean towards certain things more than others.
We were both more physical touches or bigger ones. And
Yeah.
were we also words of affirmation?
Yeah.
Or was it quality time?
A little bit of all 3 of those, I
Okay.
believe.
We weren't big on receiving gifts.
Nah, gifts
just-
don't really matter.
It's just not us.
Yeah, words of affirmation, acts of service.
Acts of service.
You know what I'm saying?
You always offer acts of service.
You know why? Because we went to couples therapy, and that's something that I learned how to keep your relationship strong.
Is there something I can do for you, honey, tomorrow? I'm gonna be home while you're at work.
You know, little things like that. It goes a long way, and I
Want to
think
pick this up for you tomorrow? No problem, honey.
seriously, the 5 love languages, great book. I think anybody who's in a relationship who might be going through a thing, or guys, me personally, I think this is a great book for anybody who kind of struggles with what it is to be a husband or be a significant other to someone else. Me, myself, I wasn't necessarily brought up in a 2-parent household. I didn't know the structure or what it takes to be a good husband or things like that. I had to learn it, through trial and error, man, through experience. And this book really helped me out a lot. And I think, as relationships go through time and duration, some things might get older. And you might just want to not necessarily rekindle things, but just reconnect and refresh. And this is a good way for people to find out what their others are into and vice versa.
Because you may be thinking it's one thing.
Yeah, you might think it's one thing and you might be doing it completely wrong, man. Like you might be
giving the 5th one instead of her top one.
Yeah, you might be, offering acts of service when you should be a little more touchy, affectionate. Because that's what your lady might be into.
And you might want to define what acts of service is. Not just
Acts of service would be
not just servicing her.
No. Service her, tune up. You got to service her. Tune up, my boy. Tune up. You know what I'm saying? But acts of service would be, like you said, is there anything I do for you? Can I make your life easier? Don't worry about the laundry. That shit is done. You know what I'm saying? Like, anything to lighten the load of your significant other is always good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, shout out to, what's his name again, babe?
The author?
Gary Chapman.
Gary Chapman.
Shout out to him. I actually recommended this book to another friend of mine, but
I have too.
It was a different version of the book, though. It was like Towards Your Kids or whatever it was.
Really?
Yeah, they got different variations of it. So y'all check that out. I don't know if Gary Chapman wrote those. I'm pretty sure he did, but there's different levels to this. We talking about levels here. So y'all make sure y'all check that out.
The 5 languages of apology.
Boom.
The 5 languages of appreciation in the workplace.
Boom. So there's game out here. You just got to go look for it. You got to talk to people. Don't be afraid of therapy, couples therapy.
No, because you know what? That's one thing we always decided, like, before we got married or when we were going through that, we promised each other if either one of us felt we needed to go, we would go, no questions asked.
Absolutely.
That's a pact that we kind of made with each other.
Yeah.
That way we could work it out and see if we can work it out,
Yeah.
not just be like, this minor thing might have been truly minor, it got blown out of proportion.
Yeah. And I want to say this too, a lot of people who are listening and a lot of people who see us have a lot of admiration for our relationship and a lot of respect for it, and a lot of, they always say, oh man, I love how y'all keep it together so long and doing all this and that, but people don't understand we're not perfect either. We have to work at it to learn how to last this long, per se, you know?
Oh, they do have the 5 love languages of children.
There you go.
Wow.
And that's the one I was talking about.
Yeah. And a couple of these, it looks like he's partnering up with someone else too for a couple of them. The 5 love languages of teenagers. We might have to get ahead on that one.
Yeah, we might as well go and scoop that up now, so we'll be ahead of the game.
Right?
Speaking of that, like, we have a 7-year-old. What were you doing at 7? Do you remember?
Playing soccer.
Playing soccer? What else?
Maybe? No, I think I started. Because what? 2nd grade. Riding. I learned how to ride my bike in 2nd grade. But, my sister was older, so we'd go to her practices when he had to split up. I don't remember doing a whole lot.
Sometimes I look at my daughter and I say, damn, I remember being 7 years old. And when I was 7 years old, I was going through a lot of bullshit. Like, unfortunately, but...
Well, you just talked about it. That's the same year your brother died.
Yeah, but I just feel like it's just such a great feeling to see your child just be able to be a child, man.
And I want to bubble that as long as possible for her to be a child.
Yeah.
As long as possible.
And I think culturally too, that's another thing that we should touch on is that some people just grow up different, Like you grew up completely different than I did.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't make you any more soft or, any more fragile than I am.
No. Maybe a little bit more naive in certain aspects, but that's okay with me.
I think we can teach each other. And
yes.
over time, obviously, we have taught each other.
Yes.
We've gave insight on different things. And
sorry, I'm just laughing about the story today.
What story?
No, the one where you thought she was different. Bree.
Oh, yeah. That's funny. Shout out to Bree, man. That's funny. I didn't know Bree was white.
I looked down at him like, oh my God, I didn't realize Bree was white.
My wife knew off top, but I didn't even know.
Well, because I for some reason I thought she might have been like when you talk about her
mixed or something.
Well, when you talk about her, I'm thinking she's black or she might be mixed. And I see her and I look at the poem like, oh shit, she's white.
Yeah, she's white.
Oh my gosh.
And she's dope. One of the most dopest writers I've ever worked with, for sure.
And the funny thing is when I was telling him, like, I didn't realize, he's like, I had to ask her. And I'm like, what do you mean you had to ask her?
I did. I was like, damn.
She's white, but she's got a lot of culture into her. The way she holds herself and the way she talks. And, it's fantastic.
She's very cultured.
But, and just... I guess us white girls recognize white girls.
Recognize white. That's the name of this podcast. Recognize white.
I'm like, dude, you can't really miss it. It's, she doesn't have any other features that scream something else.
Right.
Sorry.
Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm just stupid.
This is what I'm talking about.
Maybe I don't look at that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
this is where I talk about being a little bit naive in some of those aspects on those things, or I like being naive.
I might be very culturally naive. Maybe.
White culture.
Maybe, because I didn't grow up around a bunch of white people, but there's white people around.
Right.
The white people who I was cool with, who shared in the same, culture and stuff that I did, they was white for sure, but they look white, you know what I'm saying? But we were just into the same things. Right. And they carried themselves like white dudes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whatever that means, they would prim and proper.
Yeah, it's a different story. Then you got the preppies.
Yeah, but then you got some people here who's just like they straight hood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not just here, but everywhere you go.
Right. Just the environment you grew up in.
Yeah, you're a product of your environment, man. Mm-hmm. So I say that to say, don't judge a book by its cover. You know what I'm saying? All right, this is the part where we give shout outs again. We love giving shout outs to people, man. I want to say I like having people around me who I admire.
Yeah. People you look up to, because it strives you to want to do better.
Yeah, definitely. So that is a wise word to the youth who may be listening.
Yeah. One thing I got to say.
You think young people listen to us? People who are under 20?
No.
They probably like, they some old shits. We don't want to see some motherfuckers.
Who knows? You never know.
Never know.
But I definitely believe in the fact if you enjoy and you like what you do, money doesn't really matter.
Absolutely not.
If you're making a shit ton of money, but you hate it,
yeah.
you're looking at a lifetime of health problems and just being an angry person.
You're right. I like to say to the youth and to the people who are listening, even not the youth, but just try to surround yourself with people who you admire. You know, it goes a long way for your energy.
Yeah. Or people who have a positive energy.
Yeah, people who are striving for things, or people who you look up to in some fashion or another.
Yeah.
I think that's important.
It is.
To have those type of friends, and not just friends who are high school friends or whatever.
Or people just looking at you.
Yeah, you know.
Looking for you to drive them.
Yeah. So
we don't need any leeches.
Shout out to you. You yawning. You like you gonna fall asleep.
A little bit. It's school night. What can I say?
Yeah, man. Shout out to my wife. She's white. I'm black than the motherfucker, man. And
we always have to make sure we get a good photographer.
Yeah, you gotta have your ISO game straight because look contrast there. But shout out to my garden. My garden is popping right now.
Woo.
Anybody who follows me on Instagram know what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna get into too much detail. Just follow me at Glenn Wisdom, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Shout out to my mother-in-law, Lala, for all the grow tips.
She's got a fabulous green thumb.
Shout out to my cousin Rick. Rest in peace, brother.
Cheers.
I love you. This garden's for you, man. Thank you for showing me everything I know. That yak just hit you right there. I think this is it, baby, for this episode.
Cool.
I'll let you get to bed. I ain't gonna keep you too long.
That's all right.
All right, so this is the I Need Love Q&A podcast. Y'all be sure to stay tuned here. Send us your questions, comments.
And I will make sure I get that banana bread recipe posted.
Yeah,
we're
gonna drop a recipe soon. Shout out to Mika in Indianapolis. We're gonna come with the banana bread recipe.
And the chicken salad.
So everybody who want to make a little quick something, you know what I'm saying? That's really, really delightful. You're gonna like this. Is there anything else I want to say? I'm sure there is, but I just want to say thank you to everybody who's listening. Thank you to everybody who sent us questions. Shout out to KDIF for partnering with us in Phoenix, Arizona. This is going to be a good look. I think we bring something cool to the culture as far as being two opposites in love and being able to be an open book and share our experiences because we're not perfect.
We are not.
We've both been pieces of shit. Probably not you. I ain't gonna say that, but I know I have.
I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
I have my faults.
Yeah.
We all have all faults.
We all have our faults, man, and we just have to learn how to accept each other for what we are and learn how to love, realize nobody's perfect. So
and love yourself.
And love yourself, man, most importantly. If you don't love your own self,
love the skin that you're in.
I don't know who gonna love your funky ass. So tune in. We got more episodes coming. We're gonna keep you guys in the loop when the radio show starts. Maybe we'll use this as a pilot. We'll see. I might be able to clean it up and send it to them. But one cool thing is that we actually get to play anything that we want to play as far as music. So
send us your music.
Send us your music, guys.
I want to hear it.
We don't discriminate, but if it's whack, we are not gonna play that shit.
Yeah, better be good.
But if you rate us 5 stars, we will play your song. That's the new payola. You know what I'm saying? Rate us 5 stars. We're gonna play your music, man. We're gonna show you some love. So send us your records to iKneadLove@gmail.com. Spell it out for them, baby.
IKN as in Nancy, EADLOVE.
@gmail.com. Why you finish it? What are you doing? She's tired, man.
I am. I didn't realize you wanted me to keep on going.
All right, y'all. This is the I Need Love Q&A podcast. It's your boy G-Wiz.
Mrs. G-Wiz.
And we love y'all. Psych. No, I'm just playing.
Good night.
We'll get with y'all next week. Peace.